Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a real marathon happening on this channel. Welcome to the beginning of Nitro's Kart-a-Thon, a mini-series within JuniorNitro in which I will review 5 kart racers in 5 videos. 4 of these games were released for the PS1, and 1 of them for the N64. 2 of these games I've never played before, 2 of them I have played but haven't beaten yet, and 1 of them I have beaten 101%. Several times in fact. Now, this video will not be labeled as a JuniorNitro video. It serves as a way of delving into my past experience with kart racers and what ultimately led me to wanting to make this marathon a reality. If you watched my Sonic R video, you'll know that I already teased what games I'm reviewing in this marathon. That said, however, you're probably wondering what that elusive 5th game is. Well, this game, which will be the last one that I cover in this marathon, is the one that started everything. Not only was it the first kart racer I ever played, but it was also the first console game that I ever played, and a key component to the series that made me want to make these reviews in the first place. My favorite game of all time, Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, I'm sure you all saw this coming. I'll save my thoughts for the inevitable second revisit, but to cut a long story short, I reviewed this game in 2016 and 2017, and I do not like either one of those videos. So I figured, what if I take a look at some other kart racers in the process? The idea of a 5-episode marathon was always in the back of my mind, but I never really had a concrete plan until about a year or so ago. The first time I can recall playing CTR was back in 2001, 2 years removed from the game's release. I would play this game at my grandparents' house whenever we visited them. My uncle had a PS1 and some games for it, and my grandparents had a small CRT next to their bed where the PS1 was located at the time. As a kid, I would just screw around in CTR. I didn't care about beating the adventure mode, I just saw an addicting racing game. This led me to discovering Mario Kart. By complete accident. One day my parents took me to Game Crazy. They let me pick out a game for my Game Boy Advance. I was initially pointing at another racing game I can't recall the name of, but the guy behind the counter thought I was pointing at Super Circuit, so I ended up getting that instead. Not a big deal. I never found out what that other racing game was though. Sad. Super Circuit was my introduction to the Mario Kart series. Oh, and for the record, the loose cartridge I got from that store ended up being a European port. And it was also fake. I don't have it anymore, but I remember what it looked like. This is what the real PAL Kart looks like, and this is what mine looked like. It was a darker shade of blue and missing the ESRB rating, which makes sense nowadays because it was PAL. But as a kid, I didn't know the difference between regions, so I always thought it was weird, especially when my uncle had a genuine American cartridge. That's the one I managed to hold on to all these years later. It's really fascinating looking back on it. Eventually, I got around to playing the rest of the Mario Kart series. The order in which I played them went as follows: Super Circuit, DS, Double Dash, Wii, 64, SNES, 7, 8, and 8 Deluxe. That's not including the few times I played one of the arcade titles, by the way. Around 2004-ish, I rented Crash Nitro Kart, and I remember really liking it. Then I got it, and I was so happy when I did. And just a quick side note, I never beat Wrath of Cortex as a kid, so it confused me when I saw that Crunch was suddenly a good guy. By the way, yes, I got around to playing Gran Turismo as well, but I'm primarily focusing on kart racers for the purpose of this video and Kart-a-Thon. Fun fact, my first exposure to Diddy Kong Racing growing up was the DS remake, and I remember beating it. However, I haven't done so with the original N64 release. That will change with this marathon.
Obviously, I won't be able to play every kart racer out there, but I'm in no hurry to do so anyway. I would be here until the end of time talking about the countless classics and copycats that spawned after the release of the original Super Mario Kart in 1992. Which is why I narrowed the marathon down to 5 specific games that I've been wanting to cover on this channel for a long time. Crash Team Racing is the sole reason why I love kart racers and racing games in general, so I couldn't not include it in the marathon. As for the other 4 kart racers, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer.
So with all that being said, why did I want to make this marathon? One reason. This is a marathon I plan on seeing through to the end. I've tried in the past with Mario Kart and Ratchet, but at some point during both of these, I lost interest in making reviews for those games. Does anybody even remember Mario Kart Retrospective? Well, I'm trying to forget it even existed. I deleted the videos a while back, but they're actually over on my second channel, Nitro Plus. I made them private though.
Oh, come on!
This marathon serves as my way of not only looking at kart racers I've wanted to talk about, but it's also a challenge for myself to finish the fucking thing. And hey, at the end of the day, it's more content for you guys to watch.
Every special series on this channel has always been left on a cliffhanger and remained there. Not this time. The next 5 episodes of Junior Nitro will be Nitro's Kart-a-Thon, and it will all begin in the next video when we take a look at Chocobo Racing. But until then, I hope you all enjoyed this kind of different video. Let me know if you want to see more of these storytime type videos in the future. I've got plenty to tell. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you guys again real soon.